We are on, we are rolling. I have gone to film this video twice. I have been getting a lot of questions about our wedding budget. Okay, take 3. So this is going to be the start of the wedding series over here on my channel, which is very exciting, and we are officially in the wedding planning stage. So I know a lot of you have been asking questions over on my Instagram, and I thought, you know what, it's going to be so much easier to do this by just sitting down and answering the Q&A. So I did have a Q&A box over my Instagram, and I had a lot of you sending questions, so I thought this is just easier. Let's sit down, let's chat, and let's catch up. So like I said, this is going to be the start of the series. This is just catching up on everything, and then the rest of the series is very exciting. I've got wedding dress shopping to share with you guys. I'm going to be asking my friends to be my bridesmaids very soon, and everything else to come with the wedding. We're going to be flying out to our destination to do our engagement shoot. There's just loads going on behind the scenes, and it's going to be very exciting to go through this whole process with you. So hopefully you will enjoy this series, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the upcoming videos. Okay, first things first, I feel like we need to probably clarify this. Where are you getting married? So I did actually post over on my Instagram, sorry if I keep saying this, that we are going to be getting married in Italy. I am so excited. I just love Italy. I love everything about it, the people, the culture, the food, the places, and it's one of the destinations that we had our first holiday together. So we actually went to Rome. We fell in love with it. I'd been before, but this was the first time Chris had been. And then we also went to Positano. Chris had been before, I hadn't. I absolutely fell in love with it, and I just loved the Amalfi Coast, Capri, Amalfi. I've also been to Sorrento, and just all along that coastline is just chef's kiss. And I just feel like we've always kind of spoke about when we're going to get married in terms of like where, and it's just always been the destination that we've both agreed on and instantly said like, yeah, that's where we would love to get married. And then the next one kind of follows on from this, and it is, when are you getting married? So we're getting married next spring 2024. If we were going to get married this year, I know friends that have done it, that have turned it around quite fast, because we actually got engaged last November, so it hasn't been too long. But for me, I just don't know how people do it that fast. I need a good year to plan, and everything takes so much longer than you think, and even like with the dress process, which I'll get into as well. So yeah, next spring we are a year away and a little bit. We're going to be getting married in May. Please can you share your short list of venues in Amalfi? Now, when we did go out and we viewed a few of the venues, I was thinking to vlog it, but to be honest, it was so much to take in that I just took that time off to really soak it in and enjoy the moment of shopping for our wedding venues, because it's so special. And like I said, we'd already got one in mind, which again, I will get into, but to answer this question, because we actually went on a day where it was rainy, foggy, miserable, which was really hard because some of them were quite high up, especially like the ones in Ravello, so we weren't really getting the best view of them. And a lot of the venues were different to each other, completely different vibes, completely different setups. Some are venues in themselves in terms of villas, and some are hotels. In terms of a shortlist, I feel like it could be like how long is a piece of string. I don't want to give too much away because I'm not going to actually be sharing our exact venue. I want to leave that for the special day. So there's so much, you just have to do your research into it, and also understanding what you want as a couple. So it's hard for me to shortlist venues in terms of budgets, in terms of the vibes, if you want it to be next to the sea, if you want it to be more gardens, if you want it to be a hotel, a villa. So it's really hard for me to give a shortlist on this. I feel like you just kind of need to do your research, because there's so many beautiful places along the Amalfi Coast. It's just magical. Did you guys always want the wedding in a different country? So kind of touching on the first point is, yeah, we always knew we wanted to do a destination wedding. It's just something we've already spoke about and agreed on, and I feel like it just hones into us in our relationship as well, because we love to travel. And also being a wedding guest of previous weddings, we had so many last year. It is just so nice to go out and enjoy the wedding in a destination. It might be somewhere that you've never been before, so you can explore it, and also you have so much around the wedding as well, like the day before, the day after if you're doing events, you're getting everyone together. It's just really fun, and that's what I love about a destination wedding. Just the whole vibe, you can make it into like a week, a few days, and just brings everyone together as well, rather than it just being one day. What made you fall in love with the venue? Congrats. Thank you. So I want to get into this little story of our venue. So when I went out to Italy last summer, because my sister currently lives out there temporarily with her husband, and I went to visit my sister and my parents were there, and we were having a drink in this place, and I looked up and I said to my sister and my mom, I said, if I was to ever get married, I want to get married there. And I pointed at this venue. I had never ever known the name of it. I had never researched it before. I just saw it and fell in love with it, and I could just envision my wedding there. Now, if you guys know me quite well here on the channel, you know that I love manifesting and I really believe in it and the law of attraction. And I just saw this venue and it gave me goosebumps. Chris hadn't even proposed at this point, FYI, but I already had a wedding board on my Pinterest, and that also goes back to another point of my ring and how he managed to get my ring together. But I saw this venue and I just instantly fell in love. I said to my sister and my mom, like I said, if I was to ever get married, I want to get married here. I never also told Chris about this. I'd never since then like looked it up or done any research into it, because he hadn't proposed. So when he did propose, he actually said he was very organized, and a few months before proposing, he'd already reached out to a few venues in Italy, because he knew that was where we wanted to get married, and he just wanted to ensure we would have time to secure a venue, because I know a lot of the venues are getting booked up. So he just wanted to ensure with the timeline of proposing and planning the wedding that there would be some available. And he'd actually reached out to this wedding venue. So when I told him about it, he was like, this is crazy, I've actually already reached out to them and the time period that we want is available. So it was quite fate in the terms that Chris had already found it and contacted them, and I had previously seen it in person. So when we actually went to go see it, we just both got goosebumps. I kept saying to him, I was like, I literally have goosebumps. He gave me the look, we have this look together, and we just kind of agreed like this is the place that we're gonna get married. It's just magic. Fellow Italy 2024 bride here, how many people do you invite? Also congrats, and congrats to you. I know there are so many brides and upcoming brides for this year and next. So I'm very excited to get into all of the styling and bridal looks and give you guys loads of inspo for that as well. But in terms of how many people we're inviting, now this is the tricky one. So this is what we have basically been going back and forth on, because obviously with a destination wedding, you have to kind of be a bit more selective with who you're going to invite. And also we know a lot of people may not also be able to make it. So with Chris being Greek Cypriot, it is usually like the big fat Greek wedding, that kind of culture. In the Greek Cypriot community, they do have larger scale weddings and have a lot more guests. However, we have decided to narrow down our guest list and try and make it as intimate as possible. So definitely with Chris having more guests on his side than mine, we also want to kind of make it fair too. So we are looking to invite around, still negotiating this, so it's really hard to kind of put a figure on this because we don't have exact guest list just yet. But we are looking at inviting, I'd say around 140, 150, and then maybe like 100 coming on the day. So all depending, and we will see closer to the time. Why did you pick Italy over Spain? Which is actually a really good question, because you guys might know my parents actually live out in Spain, but also now my sister lives in Italy for the next few years. But my sister did actually get married in Spain last year, very close to where my parents live. It was beautiful. So I feel like my sister had her moment in Spain, and then Chris's sister also got married last year and she did Mykonos. So that was obviously also an option to get married in Greece, with Chris being Greek Cypriot. But we both always had in mind Italy, and then we knew it was something different as well, especially with all of our friends who have been getting married. We had a lot last year, none of them were in Italy, so I feel like it's just a new destination for all of our friends and family to come to as well. Do you plan on your own, or do you have a wedding planner? So currently we have been planning everything on our own, and my mind has been mush. Trying to juggle the wedding, the house, work, trips. It has honestly been a lot, but we are getting a wedding planner. We have been in talks with a wedding planner, but at the moment we've just been kind of doing the initial I guess the boring stuff, like the main admin stuff on our own. And then when it comes to everything else with like design and styling, we're going to be having a wedding planner to definitely help us, especially with the scope of our wedding venue and our guest list. I feel like it's just going to be a must for us, and with it being a destination wedding, I need all the help I can get. Have you asked your bridesmaids yet? I'm also a 2024 bride. Congrats! I'm honestly loving connecting with all you brides-to-be as well. So if you are, please do drop me a DM. It's so nice to chat, because I know that wedding planning and everything can be very overwhelming. But I am going to be having bridesmaids, and I'm going to be asking them very, very soon, which I'm really excited for, because obviously they don't know, but I know one of them knows, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm going to be asking my bridesmaids soon. I will be vlogging it and sharing it, so you guys will find out more details on that. But I do have to say, looking at bridesmaid dresses is hard. I feel like there isn't a lot of great options out there. So that's something that I'm kind of struggling with at the minute. What would your dream hen do be, and what outfits would you wear? Oh my god, I am so excited for my hen do. And my hen do at current is being planned, which I'm kind of aware of. So the control freak in me wanted to just kind of plan it myself, but my sister has taken the reins. I planned hers last year, and she has taken the reins to plan mine. So I think they have got a date set, and they are coming up with the plans. I have spoke to my sister about what I would like. I've given her a list. We've had a lot of conversations about it. I'm not really a clubber. I'm not really like an evening go out person. I would much rather day drink with rosé in the sun, cute outfits, doing fun stuff like games and whatnot. So I definitely have a vibe and aesthetic that I want for my hen do. So I know with everyone that I've invited to my hen do, I obviously gave a list to my sister of everyone that's going to be invited. I just like my closest, nearest and dearest, so I know it's just going to be so fun, and my best friend is just going to make it wild. And yeah, I feel like I can't really say too much about it because it's out of my hands, but I will be sharing it all to come. Are there any family traditions you have? Are there any family traditions you want at your wedding? So I think this is a really good question. I think it was just worded wrong, but we are going to be doing some traditions at our wedding, but we are also going to be dropping some traditions, especially with the Greek Cypriot traditions. So we are going to try and mix it a little bit. In terms of traditions, we are choosing to sleep separately the night before. Chris really wants to do that. And we're not going to be doing a first look. So the first moment he's going to see me is when I walk down the aisle. That is definitely a tradition we want to home in on. We will also be doing a first dance, and I'm going to be doing a daddy-daughter dance. My sister did it and it was just beautiful. So I definitely want to do that. We're going to be doing vows to each other. In terms of other traditions, we will be cutting the cake. So we're going to be having a cake and doing that. I will be doing a flower toss. Don't know about the garter, but yeah, I definitely kind of want to keep to the something borrowed, something blue as well with my bridesmaids. So there's loads of traditions that we will be in keeping, but we will also be losing some in terms of the Greek Cypriot ones, such as like the money dance. We are choosing not to do that. We also aren't choosing to have a Cypriot celebrant. So yeah, there's going to be a few different mixes of things. Honeymoon destinations. So in terms of our honeymoon, we are basically going to be splitting this. So my best friend is going to be getting married in South Africa a month or two before me next year. So we are going to be utilising that time in South Africa to do a safari, which has always been on our bucket list to do, and it's something we actually agreed we would like to do for our honeymoon as part of it. So we thought, whilst we're out in South Africa, let's just do a pre-moon, so we don't have to basically buy the flights to go back out again. So after her wedding is done, we're going to spend a week and plan to do a safari out there, which is really exciting. Then we're going to have our wedding. After our wedding, we are going to go and spend a few days in Capri or along the Amalfi Coast for 1 or 2 nights, just to decompress after everything and have some time for ourselves. After that, we're going to plan to do a more exotic kind of honeymoon. Once we've got things sorted with the house and everything's kind of settled after the wedding, we will then start to plan it. I feel like we don't really want to put too much pressure on it with the amount we've been spending with everything else. What is the budget and how to stick to it? So I have been getting a lot of questions about our wedding budget. And And I've just got to say, obviously I am going to be sharing a lot with you guys, but there is a line, guys, of what I'm not going to be sharing. So I'm not going to be sharing our budget for our wedding. It's just personal, it's our finances. I just don't feel like it's necessary for me to share. In terms of sticking to a budget, I feel like this can be hard because obviously we have sat down and gone through everything and what our budget is, but I feel like from past brides experience, they always say you have your budget and then usually you go over it around 20%. So we're kind of factoring that in as well because yeah, a lot of obviously the wedding is going to be paid for from us and we've worked hard for it and we really want the day to be special, but we also kind of want to draw the line of it is one day. On that, I feel like we're sticking with a budget. My mother-in-law to be, is this upside down? No, it's not. Got me this wedding planner and it basically breaks everything down for you in terms of all the initial steps, like the first 3 months, the 6 months to the 12 months of all like the checklists you need to do, your guest list and how to budget for everything. So it literally breaks down like all your vendors, dresses, all the different costs you've got. So I think just having it down in either a book like this or a spreadsheet and just figuring out the cost of everything is a really great way to budget your wedding as well, and also having a planner to help with that. What's your wedding theme going to be? So this is definitely a part of the wedding planning which I cannot wait to start getting my head stuck into, because we're currently at, I would say, like phase 1, phase 2. We've secured the venue and everything else in terms of that. So we've been just basically doing like the logistics side. We haven't yet got into the styling side of everything. I've always had a vision for my wedding. Like I said, I've had a Pinterest board and it's definitely going to be homing into my style and my aesthetic. I am just basically going to be living my Elizabeth James dream. You guys know how much I'm obsessed with her. She's my icon and it's going to be all of that traditional, classic, sophisticated, romantic feel. So yeah, that's definitely going to be the theme of our wedding. I mean, it's going to have a lot of the neutrals. It's got beautiful surroundings in our venue, which we're going to home into, of that outdoor life as well, and the greenery and the views. So yeah, I feel like all of the planning side of styling the venue is yet to come, but I'm sure you guys can understand the vision maybe. Have you started looking for your dress? Will you film anything? Yes, I have been shopping for the dress and I may have found my dress. So I have vlogged it all as well, which is going to be coming in this series. So make sure you subscribe for that because it is very exciting. I just really want to share as much as I can with you guys. Like I said, I know there's a lot of brides to be, so hopefully it will give you good inspo or even just a nice little sneak peek. But obviously I will not be sharing my actual dress. I'm sure you can understand that's going to be saved till the day. But I'm going to be taking you guys along on the wedding dress shopping journey and also giving you my inside scoop and kind of like opinions on the whole wedding dress shopping experience as well. Are you having a religious ceremony? So we are going to be having a symbolic wedding in Italy as the destination wedding. So we're going to be doing vows to each other, but we are also then going to be getting legally married here in the UK. So we're going to be doing a separate wedding day for that. So a lot of the other questions are in terms of style and theme and budget, which I guess I've covered for you guys now. And there's so much more to come, so many other details to talk about. But hopefully this just kind of give you a top line scope of everything that's been going on with the wedding at the minute. So we've found the venue, may have found the dress, which I'm going to be updating you guys in another video. So make sure you subscribe and don't miss that. And I'm sure Chris is going to be involved in this wedding series as it goes. He just couldn't be in this video today, sadly. So all of these opinions I'm sure he will agree on, well, hopefully. And you guys will be caught up on everything in the next few weeks. And like I said, I'm going to be taking you along this whole journey with us of the whole wedding planning process and everything to come. So it's very exciting. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, found out a little bit more. If you did, please do give it a like. I'll always answer your comments down below if you have any more questions, and I will see you guys in the next one.